Welcome to my channel. This is Bria Makes Art. Yay! It's that time of year again. Let's go ahead and go through some of the things that I really like as an artist that you may want to think about buying for your artist friends and families for the holidays. First up, let's talk sketchbooks. I love me a square sketchbook, and I use the Elo sketchbooks. They are a little bit more expensive, but I really like them. I like the paper in them. I know that there are a ton of different square sketchbooks out there, and a ton of different non-square sketchbooks out there, to be honest. So before you go buying your artist a sketchbook, kind of get an eye on the type of sketchbooks that they like to use and see if you can find one that's like that, because people are pretty particular about the types of sketchbooks they use. So just buying them any old sketchbook, they may or may not use it, but we do love a sketchbook. The other thing to keep in mind with sketchbooks is what type of mediums do they like to use. If they are basically just a pencil artist or do just ballpoint pens and things like that, most sketchbooks are going to be just fine. But if they like to use other mediums, then you have to kind of look and see what type of sketchbooks to buy them, because different sketchbooks will take different mediums. There are kind of sketchbooks that are multimedia that will take a lot of different mediums, but those are only so good for the wetter mediums like watercolor and gouache. They will do fine, but like if you start to use a lot of water, they're not going to hold up so well. So just kind of keep an eye on what they like to use. And if you want to get them something like some Arches watercolor paper, you can get smaller pads for a little bit less money, and that might be nice to just get them some really nice watercolor paper for them to work on, because from everything that I've heard online, really nice watercolor paper is going to do a lot more for your art than pretty much anything else. That paper is going to hold up really well to lots of layers, lots of water, and again, from what I've heard, it's going to kind of have the colors be more bright and vibrant. Another thing that pretty much all artists love is washi tape. So go find some pretty washi tape for them. They will use it, and even if they don't, they will definitely appreciate getting it, because we use it for lots of things, not only to just decorate our sketchbooks and things like that, but also for doing watercolor paintings and things like that. We just kind of tape off the edges, and it's always fun to have something pretty to look at, even if you're going to take it off and throw it away. And if they have a lot of washi tape already, you can get them some storage for their washi tape. I have a little 3-drawer plastic thing that can store a lot of washi tape. I'm going to grab that and show that to you in just a minute. I showed it to you guys last year. I'm going to show it again because I do really like it, and it's great for storing a lot of washi tape and making it really easy for me to see and find the tape that I do have. This is the storage unit in question. You can see I have a fair amount of washi tape in here, and it has 3 different drawers that each have 3 rows in there and can store a ton of washi tape. And the nice thing is it's really pretty to look at, because I get to see all of the washi tapes here, and then I can just kind of pull out the drawer and easily get at any washi tape that I want. The drawers come out nice and easy, and I believe I just purchased this at Target, so it wasn't terribly expensive, but this is a really great little organization for the washi tapes. The next thing that I got that I really love is my storage unit for my Ohuhu markers. They sell these on their site. They are a little bamboo storage thing, which is great because it stores them flat the way that they're supposed to be stored, and it makes it so that I can easily see all of the colors and just kind of quickly pick out the colors that I want and then put them back and have them stored really nicely, instead of storing them in the little cases that they come in, which is fine, but it's nice to just have something pretty to look at, as well as easy access to the markers. The nice thing about having the easy access to the markers, it means that I will reach for them more often because I see them, instead of having them stored away in a little case off to the side that I don't see and I don't think about, so I don't use. I think that there are other options for storing your alcohol markers, and obviously you can use this for markers other than just Ohuhu. This has got, they're just basically little shelves for the markers, so as long as your markers fit in here, it would work fine. I have seen different IKEA hacks and things like that for storage of your alcohol markers. So do some searching online for things like that. If your artist friend has alcohol markers or even paint markers, this will be a great kind of storage for that style of marker as well. Another Target purchase that I made for myself this year that I am really happy with and would have been very happy to receive is this little Lazy Susan. So it's got spots for a lot of different things, and I put all of my paint brushes from Sarah Burns in the middle. So I've got kind of this set of paint brushes in there, and then I got pens and pencils and markers and stuff all the way around here, and I can easily just kind of spin it around and get at what I want. And it's been really great to have like a little bit of organization on my desk and have a whole lot of things very kind of visible and readily accessible. And it wasn't terribly expensive to purchase either, so that was a big bonus. If your artist does very much painting, getting them an easel is always a good option. The larger stand-up easels are sometimes rather pricey, but a little desktop easel like this guy is a great option. I honestly do not know where I got this from, but I do know that Meeden sells options like this, and basically it just kind of pops up like so, and you can put your painting on there and work on it, and it's really great because it puts it up at a much more natural angle, so you're not having to strain your neck looking down at it. And because it's at a much more natural angle, you're going to be able to get your proportions more correct, whereas like sometimes when you are looking down at something, your proportions might get a little bit skewed because you're looking at it at a weird angle, whereas this will allow you to see it kind of more naturally. And it's got like 3 or 4 different levels here that you can set it at, and then the nice thing is it folds up pretty small. This also comes with a little drawer in it that you can store a palette inside and paint brushes, etc. So I've got a palette in here that I don't actually use, but I did prepare this so that I could use it if I'd like to. And it's got storage in there also for additional paint brushes and things like that. And I really love having this thing, and I use it a lot for paintings, whether it be acrylic, gesso, watercolor, whatever. I use it a lot for that sort of thing, and occasionally for other things, but I use it mostly for painting. Also, if your artist paints very much, getting them some brush cleaner is a fantastic option. This is by the Masters, and I really like this little guy. I keep it on the sink in there, so it's basically just a little bit of soap in there, and so I can wet my brush and put it in there and clean off my brushes really nicely, and it works great, and it's good on the brushes, so it's not harsh on the brushes or anything like that, and it's really convenient to have and use. And they're not terribly expensive, so this makes a really great stocking stuffer, especially if, like I said, your artist is a painter. If you know that your artist travels occasionally with their sketchbooks, getting them a nice pencil case is a really great option. I love having a couple of different pencil cases so I can take different things. I often use this one to put alcohol markers in and take with me. And this is actually just like a makeup case that I bought like at Target. Again, I just thought it was really cute, and so I decided to buy this for a pencil case. The nice thing is, because it was a makeup case, it's got plastic lining on the inside, so if I did happen to put an acrylic marker or something like that in here and it exploded, it's not going to get all over anything inside of my suitcase, which is fantastic. And then this one I think was also, no, this was actually a pencil case. So it's a little bit smaller, and again, I found this at Target kind of near like back to school days or something like that, and I put a lot of things in here and just kind of keep this near my sketchbook at all times so that I've got a couple of different things to grab from. If your artist likes to put things onto Instagram or something like that, getting them something like this would be fantastic. I love this little thing. This is by Moft, and what it is it is a little stand that has a magnet on it so that I can attach my phone to it and adjust it at a lot of different angles and take photos or video very easily. I love this thing because it's very portable, it's pretty small, and it works really well. So I've got the metal ring on the back of my case, and so it just magnetizes on like that, and then I can adjust it however I want. If I want to go sideways, I can do that, and it works really great for capturing video and getting different angles very easily, and it's very sturdy and very stable once you set it up. If your friend or family is interested in gouache, I would highly recommend either like the Himi gouache if they are really wanting to just kind of get started and play with it in their sketchbooks, that sort of thing. The Maya Himi gouache is great, the little jelly gouache things. It's great because it's ready to go. They don't have to do a whole lot. They don't have to have a palette out, that sort of thing. It's really easy to use. It is, and it works really well. But if they're looking for something a little bit more professional, you can get them some Shinhan gouache. I have started using this. I got it in the Sarah Burns gouache subscription kit, which is a little pricey, but you get a lot of stuff for it. I've been getting this gouache and I really, really love it. It is very creamy and easy to use. It comes out of the tube just ready to go. You don't have to worry about kind of messing with it to get the water ratio just where it comes out perfect if you want to use it nice and thick, and it waters down really easily. So I would highly recommend this. And the nice thing about gouache like this is you can buy a few tubes and pop them in as stocking stuffers, or you could probably find a full set of the Shinhan gouache and get them a small set of it. I don't know how expensive this is because I have not purchased these individually or as a set. I purchased the Sarah Burns gouache kit instead, which has been really nice and fun. So that leads me into another thing. If you are looking to spend a little bit more money and get them something that is going to be something that they can enjoy all year long, the Sarah Burns gouache kit is really nice. It was, when I purchased it, it was around $500. So like I said, on the pricier side, but each month you get a couple of her brushes, which are really nice. You get a number of sheets of really nice quality watercolor paper, several tubes of the Shinhan gouache, as well as tutorials each month, and a print of one of her paintings. So you get a print of her painting, a tutorial on how to recreate that painting, gouache and brushes and paper each month, which is really great. Like I said, a little pricey, but you know, I spoiled myself on it. I splurged and spoiled myself on it. So if you are looking to spoil someone a little bit, that's an option. There are also a lot of other art subscription boxes out there, and those can be a lot of fun to get because it's like a little mystery box. Every month you get a couple of different art supplies, and that's part of the reason that I have so many art supplies here, is because I did sign up for a number of different art supply boxes over the years, and got a lot of just random stuff that I haven't used a ton, and so it just kind of accumulated, but it's a lot of fun to open up and play with new things every month. I also want to say that if you do live somewhere where you have a local art store, go talk to the people who work there. They are more than likely going to have some recommendations for different things to try out, different really good art supplies, things that they really like. And they can probably help you find things in a lot of different price ranges. They can help you find some really nice stocking stuffers, things like that, because more than likely they are probably artists themselves, or at the very least are very familiar with the supplies that they have in the store, so they would be able to help kind of guide you to the right options for you and your budget. Another pretty random suggestion is a good pair of scissors or a really nice paper cutter. We often have to cut things up a little bit, cut off edges or whatever, and having a good pair of scissors that is kind of dedicated to our paper work, or if you've got a fabric artist, their fabrics, that's always really appreciated, because they do eventually get dull, and so having a nice pair of scissors that we can use is always really good, and then they can make sure that they can hide those so that they don't get used by other members of the family for other things that would dull them down. So these are the scissors I have. These are Fiskars, and Fiskars is a really great brand. I have this pair and this smaller pair, which is used for kind of finer detail work, and I like having them around. I don't use them a ton, but when I do need them, they are invaluable to have, and they are definitely hidden in my art room so that I know that they are here for me to use for my purposes, and they're not going to get dulled down. I also do have a paper cutter. Let me grab that. Oops. This is the one that I have. It is, do not know what brand this is. There it is, The Works. It is an all-in-one tool. This one was actually broken. My mother-in-law got one that was broken, and then we got her a replacement, and she gave me the broken one because I didn't really need it for, this is for like cutting boxes, making boxes and things like that, and I wasn't going to use that, so I didn't really mind that this part was broken, but it works really nice for just kind of cutting paper. It's got this on there. I guess maybe this is for stamping or something like that. I'm not sure. But it works really nice, and it's got some other tools in the back that I don't use. But depending on what your artist does, getting them just like a nice little guy like this is very much appreciated, because sometimes, again, we need to cut paper down to size. Another random thing that your artist may appreciate is a little corner cutter. So this guy will give me nice rounded corners, and that's sometimes nice for different artwork, or if I decide that I want to make bookmarks or something like that. It's nice to have little rounded corners on things, and I don't want to have to cut those by hand, so having a nice little thing like this to do that for me is fantastic. I got this when I was doing card making, and I just kind of kept it because it is a nice little tool to have. These are probably like 15-20 bucks, so it could be a reasonable stocking stuffer or a gift all on its own. But honestly, nothing beats just talking to your artist and find out what kinds of things that they like, what kinds of things that they've kind of been keeping their eye on, that sort of thing, and get them something that is a little bit more personalized to the type of art that they like to do. Art books are always a great option, so if there's an artist that you know that they admire and you see an art book by them, that's always a great option as well. Last but not least, are gift cards to an art store. I know that a lot of people don't like giving gift cards because it doesn't feel very personal, but a gift card to a nice art store can be a really exciting gift for an artist to get, especially if you add to it something like, hey, let's make a day out of it and go to the art store and get some lunch or get some dinner or something like that. That's a really nice and thoughtful gift. They get to go and pick out some things that they really want without having to worry about spending that money, and then they get to spend some time with you as well. So make it a little date. Well, I think that's about all that I have for different gift ideas for your artists. There are lots of different things depending on what types of things your artists are interested in. But those are the things that I could think of that I have really enjoyed in the last couple of years, and I know that I would have been very happy to receive. If you enjoyed this, if it was informative, please give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. And if you have other ideas for people to get their artists, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm going to try to put affiliate links to most of the things that I mentioned down below. Some of them are just going to be regular links. As always, with affiliate links, it doesn't cost you anything extra. It just gives me a tiny bit of money, usually like pennies, but you know, a little bit of money in my pocket for talking about the things is always really appreciated. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye. One last thing. Buy your artist something silly, something that you think that they might like, some little decoration, because, you know, we're all a little bit silly and like different things, but kind of get an idea of what they like and buy them some silly little decoration that they can put up and they can look at, and it makes them smile and makes them think about you. That's always super appreciated. Bye.